it's Cherie, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my August makes. First things first, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please do hit that subscription button and also hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a video. If you're a returning person, thank you so much for your continued support. It means the world to me. I really appreciate you. All right, so before I get into all the wonderful things that I made in the month of August, I want to first do some shout outs, if that's okay. I've been working on the editing quality and the sound quality of my videos, and I had a little help. My friend Angelo Young sent me some really great resources, and he's been really helping me to navigate the world of editing, which is really hard. First of all, there's a lot of things out there that work for people who are experienced, but also there are a lot of things for people like myself who are not very tech savvy, and I just didn't know how to weed through it all and which worked and which didn't, and he kind of pointed me in the right direction. So thanks to him, I will be hopefully improving the quality of my videos. Now, as a special thank you, I'd like to direct you guys to his channel. He has started a YouTube channel. He is a realtor. So if you are located in Arizona, Los Angeles, or Vegas, he can help you find that perfect rental property or the perfect home. Now, he also has a website, which I will be linking in the information section below. Please do check him out. He's going to be uploading some really awesome content, and I think that you'll appreciate what he has to offer. All right, the next set of shout outs goes to some subscribers. Now, I always tell you guys that I'm really interested in what's going on with you, and also if you are finding my channel useful, if you like something I said, if you have tips on helping me improve my sewing. And quite a few of you have really sent me some extreme love and also have given me some really great tips on how to improve. So I have 3 shout outs today, although there are many of you that have also provided wonderful comments. I'm just going to shout out 3 today so that we can get into this heavy box I have of patterns that I sewed. So the first shout out is going to go out to Patricia Brown. Patricia Brown, thank you so much for your lovely comments. Thank you also for all of your pattern suggestions, website suggestions, and just your overall friendship. I really appreciate you so much. Next I have, and I believe your name is probably Christina because my sister goes by Xina, but just in case Xina is your name, Xina Chase, thank you so much for all of your lovely comments. I really appreciate you so much. You have given me a lot of encouragement to keep going, and you've shared with me that some of my videos have been helpful to you, so thank you so much. The last person is Gloria Walker. Thank you so much, Gloria Walker, for your continued support and all of your lovely comments. All right, now I want to talk to you about something that I learned about, and that is that this month, the month of September, is National Sewing Month. I had no idea that there was a special sewing month. Although I probably should have known, because let's be honest, we celebrate something new every month and pretty much everything has a holiday. But I didn't even think about the fact that sewing might have a holiday. And I saw it online. I don't remember who posted it first, but I think it was on Instagram. I saw that this month is National Sewing Month, which was actually something that in 1982, President Ronald Reagan declared. So in honor of that, I will be doing lots of sewing for the month of September, and if you are a sewist, I encourage you to do the same. If you're someone that's new to sewing and you're just getting started, do it, okay? Find something easy to start with and just participate. It's fun. All right. So the last thing I want to share with you before I get into the sewing box, and I know that you're like, hurry up, we want to see what you made. Give me a second. I really think this is important. I want to share it with you. I purchased something to protect myself and my children as we navigate this world in the day of COVID. Now, I've made every single person in my family a different type of cloth face mask to protect them. However, as you know, because I've mentioned in other videos, I personally still caught COVID-19. It is scary, and it is something that I definitely want to help protect my family members and friends from getting. And as you are an extended friend to me, I also want to help protect you as well. So I will be linking a couple of different YouTube videos that people have created that I found helpful in making my own masks for my family. Both that I'll be linking, I actually have hacked so that they fit my children and my husband and my face a little bit better. But they're really great, easy to follow tutorials, so please do check those out if you don't already have a well-fitting, proper cloth face mask. In addition to that, I purchased my boys and myself the Z Shield. I found out about this on Instagram. It's all over Instagram. They're like trying to sell them like crazy. And you know, sometimes, I don't know if you've done this before, but I've purchased things on Instagram and then it never arrived, or it wasn't as nice as I thought it was. But this was legit. It came in a good amount of time. I want to say it took about a week and a half before I received it, but it was well worth the wait. This is what it looks like. It has a rather thick plastic shield, and then it has this neck piece which clicks into place, and you just kind of hook it on like this, and then you pop this up to where you want it. And I think it's lovely. So this is especially nice for someone who works with children, because children are underneath you, and if you're holding a baby or they're talking up to you, they can easily, if you don't have something like this, sneeze and it gets you from underneath, right? Also, you could sneeze and spit droplets go down onto the children, right? So if you're having trouble wearing facial cloths, this is a good option for you, but I personally would be wearing this in addition to my cloth mask. I'll insert pictures of my children's so that you can see how well the child size versions actually fit on the face. So I'll also add their website. This is not a sponsored video. I'm just trying to help protect you guys out there. All right, please, please, please don't leave your house without a well-fitting cloth mask, okay? It's dangerous. It's dangerous for you and it's dangerous for other people. So please do wear your mask. Even though it's uncomfortable, it could potentially save your life or someone else's. So please do that. All right, enough about that serious stuff. Let's move on. I'm done with my announcements, so I'm gonna toss my little paper here. We're getting into these makes, okay? The very first thing that I made, you guys, is something that you've seen before. I've made a couple of them actually, but it's something that I love, okay? It's the Adrienne blouse. This Adrienne blouse is amazing. First of all, it has the most romantic sleeves I've ever seen on a blouse before in my life. They're big and they're blousey. And this particular time when I made it, I actually made it out of this really nice jersey. It's a heavier weight jersey, and it's just so soft and stretchy, but it has like really good recovery. Now, I'm gonna tell you where I bought it, but to be perfectly honest, I haven't been able to find it since I bought it. I bought it from Fine Fabrics Canada, and I bought 3 colors, loved all 3, made things out of them, and I was like, I need more. Seriously, I have so many plans, I need more. Went on the website and they were nowhere to be found. Hopefully they restock. I don't know. If they're watching this video, which is highly unlikely, but if they are, then they will learn that I'm a huge fan of this particular jersey, and I just really appreciate if they bring it back. But the color I chose is a really nice like emerald green color, and I'm finding that I'm really drawn to those type of colors for this fall. So you may see that color pop up once or twice in the future, but I really love it. I mean, the sleeves themselves, and I'm giving you a couple of different views of how they drape. They just drape so nice and romantic on the body, and they're just so flowy, okay? So it's a really nice blouse. It's pretty simple to make. The only part that's a little challenging is where the neckband meets the shoulder. You just have to really take your time and match it up really nicely, okay? Take your time. I did have to unpick once, and I've already made 2 versions, so I knew what to expect, but still found myself in a position to where I had to redo that connection right here at the tops of the shoulders where the neckband meets. But it's an easy sew, and it's a really lovely, lovely blouse. All right, the next thing that I made is I made another indigo. You guys know I'm obsessed with TiendaDePatrones. It wouldn't be a makes video if I didn't make something from TiendaDePatrones. So this time I made the midi version of the indigo dress. And if you don't know what midi means, it just is a longer version dress. They can stop at different lengths. Mine stops really nicely above the ankle area. I didn't want it too long because I want to be able to still chase after children and move around really nicely in it. I love this dress because it's super flowy, super comfortable, and the fabric I chose is a double brush poly that I got from Joann's, and it's just so lovely and soft. I like it because the particular day that I actually took the pictures for this video, I was feeling kind of down. I didn't feel very great, but when I put it on and I did my hair, I just felt so much better and I felt pretty. So I'm just one of those people that when I'm in a funky mood, if I get dressed and do my hair, sometimes it helps to improve my mood. And this was something that I found to improve my mood and be comfortable. I mean, what could be better? So I loved it so much. If you haven't already made this, you should. I will tell you that I did do something different. Sometimes when I'm feeling a bit lazy with my sewing, rather than doing traditional gathers with 2 rows of stitches that you pull on to cinch in, I actually used elastic thread. I know some people don't like this method, but I personally love it. It definitely makes gathering so much easier, and I also find that it's easier to evenly distribute your gathers when you are attaching it to the rest of your dress or shirt or item that you're making. So if you hate gathers like I do, try using some of that elastic thread. I just do 1 row. I know some people do 2, but 1 row seems to, for this particular project, work just fine. So anyway, this was a win, and I hope you like the pictures. The next thing that I made is the Made by Jack's Mom Hot Chocolate Hoodie and Dress. Now, this is a child's pattern, and I told you in one of my last videos that I love matching my kids. I will be showing their pictures later in this video because all of the things that I made for them are at the end of the video. I did that because some people don't have kids and they may not be interested in sewing for children, but for those of you that just like sewing in general and want to see what I've made my kids or need some inspiration, then you can stay and watch those things that I've made. But I wanted to match them, so I made them these awesome hoodies, and then I made myself one to match. I used a size 10, which fits me perfectly. To give you reference, I'm 5'4", I'm 135 in weight, and I usually wear in ready-to-wear clothing a size 8. When I sew things, you know, it can be tricky depending on who the pattern company is, but for this particular child size pattern, I made myself a size 10, and then in order to make the wrist cuffs fit me, I doubled the length of them. So it worked just fine, and I'm finding that some of the children's patterns that I've purchased in the past actually work for me too. It's with a little bit of tweaks. So this was something that I really enjoyed making. What I used is a doodle fabric that I got from Joann's, and it has this really cute camping theme all over it, and I just think it's adorable and fun and perfect for fall and winter. Now when you use, I think it's called a double knit with their doodle fabric, it is like a sweatshirt material, but it's slightly lighter, so it's perfect for places like the Bay Area where I live, where the weather just fluctuates throughout the year and it never gets super cold, but it never gets super hot either. I shouldn't say never. We've had like 5 days where I was like sweating to death, so retract that statement. But for the most part, it's a sweatshirt that can be worn all year round because of its light nature. Anyways, it was a very lovely project to sew, super easy, so that's one that I made. All right, next I actually made, this was my first Seamwork pattern that I actually made. Now I am subscribed, I have downloaded and printed lots of patterns and I'm working my way through them, but this was the first one that I made. This is the Orlando tee. Now the first one that I made is out of this really nice gray jersey. It's the jersey that I was just talking to you about when I made the Adrienne blouse that I got from Fine Fabrics Canada. Now, the thing about this particular one is I kind of hacked the size because I fell between some different sizes and found that I probably should have just went with a straight size instead of trying to get my perfect fit. The reason why I say that is because based off of the instructions, it looked as though for my upper body, I should be making a size 8. And then for my waist area, I should be grading out to a size 10. Now, in doing that, it fit really nice in the shoulders, but I'm pretty busty, so I probably could have used more fabric in the bust area. I say that to kind of warn you if you weren't aware. But yes, so I probably could have used a little bit more room in that area. And also, the jersey is such a really good tight jersey that I kind of felt like it was compression wear. So it felt like something really nice that you could wear underneath something else to help slim you, because it kind of hugged the body really nicely. However, I find that for myself, I think I like things a little bit looser fitting so that it's not so tight. So I did make 2 more. And the other 2 versions that I made, I used a light blush pink color of the same fabric, and then the third option, oh my gosh, wait a minute, no, I made 4 of them, I made 4 of them, not 3. Okay, so for the third version, I used a double brushed poly, and it's in this really pretty green. I actually made a Tabitha t-shirt dress out of this fabric in a previous video. I love it. You guys know I love double brush poly. It's the softest fabric out there. But anyway, so it just feels so nice on the skin. It looks really great with jeans, and you guys know that the whole goal for this sewing vision board when it came to tops is finding the right tops that will look great with the jeans that I have in my closet. And this one ticked every box. I love the way it feels. I love the way it fits. It's great. And the 4th version that I made out of an African fabric, and it is a DTY fabric that I purchased from Fabric Wholesale Direct, and it was left over from a dress I made, a shirt that I made. I mean, I got my money's worth of that fabric. So anyway, it's very similar to the double brush poly in feel and wear, and I love those versions so much. This was a really easy pattern to follow and to sew. The only thing that I found I had trouble with is using the double stitch with the twin needle. Now, my sewing machine, I know it came with the little white post for the second spool of thread, so that when you run it through the twin needle, you have one standing up straight and then you have your regular one. But for some reason I cannot find it anywhere, and I've gone through all of my sewing stuff and I cannot find it. So I actually put it on top of the bobbin threader. I hope I'm saying that right. And it works, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the type of thread that I used, because I did use a cheap thread that I got from Amazon versus my good Gutermann thread, and it's because of colors, right? Like, I have lots of threads up on my wall, but I had been using so many of them and not replenishing them fast enough, so I kind of had to use a cheaper thread. So because of that, I did have some trouble with using that twin needle around the neckband. I ended up getting through it. It ended up lovely. No one would know that I had those mistakes, but I'm letting you know so that when you make it, just be aware that if you're not used to using a twin needle, it can be a little challenging with this particular style of top if you're using the type of jersey that I used. Now, for my double brush poly version and also for my DTY fabric, I just did a zigzag stitch instead of using the twin needle, and it made it so much easier to wear, and it's a stitch that I've been doing with a lot of things. So I will revisit the twin needle when I have better fabric to use it with. Another thing that I want to say too, some threads are not good in the bobbin if you have one of those loaders that's on top, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So I got this pack of threads from Amazon, and the thread itself is actually kind of thick. It really reminds me of like top stitching thread that you would use for like jeans or something like that. That's kind of what it feels like. And when you use that in the bobbin, I tend to often have weird wrinkling or nesting when I first do my back stitch. So when I switch that bobbin thread out and I put my regular Gutermann thread or Clark & Coates or whatever it's called thread in there, I don't have that problem. So be mindful that some threads can be too thick to use on your bobbin. So I learned that. Learn something new every time I sew, okay? So that's a really great t-shirt. If you haven't checked it out, you really should. It's an easy sew and it's really nice. Okay, next I made another Tilly and the Buttons make. This is my second go around with the Mila Dungarees. And I did size down, as I mentioned before, that I would be doing, but I didn't size down enough. I think I might have body dysmorphia, honestly, because I always tend to make things a little bit too big, and it's because I want to give myself some room, I guess. But also, I followed the measurements for this pattern, and I just have really skinny legs, so I had to take it in even more after I sized down. This time around, I actually made a size 4 waist and a size 3 everything else, and it was still too big. So, and it also has something to do with the fabric too, because I use this really extremely stretchy denim fabric, and it's kind of thin also. So I think that particular fabric I should have saved for when I was going to do something a little bit more form-fitting. And had I have sized down more, I probably would have liked the fit of them. I still love them. They're very comfortable. It was not an easy make in that it's a quick make, because it's not a quick make. There's a lot of top stitching, so you definitely want to take your time, make sure you have time to really dedicate to this project. But it was very easy to follow. The instructions are extremely clear. You cannot go wrong with the Tilly and the Buttons pattern. They're always really easy to follow. They always have pictures for step-by-step instructions, and if you are a beginning sewist, this will be a really helpful thing for you. But I think with all the additional top stitching and then doing side tab buttons and all of those things, it's a longer project, but definitely worth it. And I love the way they came out. I find them extremely comfortable. I think they're very cute. I just know that when I make this again, I'm going to size down even more, because I had to take in still an inch on each side, and I still had lots of wiggle room after that. So I'm going to take them in a lot more and figure it out. But it's a great make. Please do give it a go. All right, next I made and this is also photographed in the same pictures as the Mila Dungarees, I made the Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top. I love this top so very much. In this top, I actually used a doodle fabric that is a jersey, but it's a kind of a heavier jersey, and it doesn't have as much stretch as what I would have liked. With this particular jersey, it actually only has 2-way stretch, not 4-way stretch, and I prefer 4-way stretch. And also the way the stretch is that it was not vertical, it was horizontal. Sorry, I heard something. I'm like, did something go off? And so the way the fabric laid on the body, it wouldn't have been stretchy enough to accommodate my bust. So I had to flip it and sew the fabric the opposite direction that I wanted to sew. But I still love the way it came out. It looks really great. The sleeves are so stinking cute. Again, with these sleeves, when it came to the shoulder up here, I used elastic thread to do the gathers at the shoulder. But here in the chest, I use a very thin elastic in order to have the bunching between the bust. You can't see it in the picture, I'm so sorry. I will be making this again in a different fabric, and when I do that, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. But I followed this instructions to the T. It was a very easy, enjoyable sew to make, and the sleeves are so cute and ruffly. So please do give this a try if you haven't. It's a good one. And for that shirt, the fabric actually goes on sale quite often. It's a good fabric. You just might want to use a different pattern for that fabric. Next, I made the Penelope Pinafore. Now, the Penelope Pinafore is something that I've made before, and I have plans actually to make a couple more. But this time around, I wanted to make another denim version, but I wanted to use a heavier denim, and I ran out of denim in my stash. So you know what I did? I raided my husband's closet. This, my friends, is my first upcycle, okay? I took a pair of jeans, with his permission, of course. I took a pair of jeans that he hasn't worn in years, like a long time. Like, these jeans were super, super old, and he was gonna donate them. But they're True Religion jeans, and they kind of have like a bootleg, but they're a little bit more flared than a bootleg. So because he's a bigger guy with regards to his height, there was plenty of fabric for me to squeeze out a dress. And let me tell you, I used every single inch of that fabric. Now, what I did first is I kind of ripped the stitches on the outer leg as gently as I could so that I could lay the fabric flat to see if my pattern piece would fit nicely within the legs. And I found, hold on one second, I found that my pattern actually went over a little bit. So I ran downstairs to my fabric scraps, and I found some good sized pieces left over from when I made my Mila dungarees that could fit as the side panels for the dress, and also use that fabric to create the chest bib, because obviously with jeans like this, they have like big flashy pockets on the butt, but then in the front there's no extra flashy pocket. And I actually wanted to reuse all the pockets with its original stitching and everything. And so I had to take the little tiny pocket that goes on the front pocket of the pants, and I sewed it on top of a bib pocket that I made out of the remnants from a previous project, combined it all together, and I got the most perfect Penelope Pinafore. And now you might be thinking, oh, this is hard to look at because it's not lined. Well, for me, I just love it because I know what it used to be, and I didn't want to give up the color of the stitching on the actual pants. So yes, the front lines are off centered. They're not perfectly centered down the middle of the dress, but I'm okay with that because I wanted to keep the original stitching, okay? And what's funny for me is wearing it and being able to tell the story later, but one leg is the front of the dress and the other leg is the back of the dress. And it was just a fun thing to make. I'd never really gotten into upcycling before. I have reused certain items in our home to make masks, like t-shirts and stuff we're not using anymore and stuff like that, but never an actual item of clothing did I take and turn into something else. So this has got my juices flowing, and I'm definitely interested in playing with some other patterns using his old clothes because they're bigger and they have lots of fabric for me to play with. So if you're interested in seeing upcycle videos, let me know, and I'd be happy to walk you through some of the processes that I do for upcycling any future items. But it definitely worked really well for this Penelope Pinafore. So if you have a man in your life who's a little bit bigger than you and has some pants that he can fork over, this is a great thing to try to make. It's easy to follow too, you guys. I think I can't remember what month, but I want to say maybe it was it my March makes? I'm not sure, but earlier in the year I did share a version of this that I made out of this really great lightweight denim that has white dots all over it, and it's just a very enjoyable sew. Again, with the top stitching, if you're not into it, this probably isn't something for you, but I think that it's well worth it, you know, when it's all done and you just look at it. And I do have plans to make more. So anyways, that was that one. Now next, thanks to Brittany Jones, I actually picked up this wonderful pattern. It's a McCall pattern. It's M8035. What I did for this one is I used one of my favorite bubble gauzes that I got from Joann. So that's just a double gauze, and it's black with colored stripes. And so Brittany made this long version here on the front, but I actually really love the ruffle of version B. So what I did is I actually made the version B, and I just extended it so that it was a longer dress, and I love how it came out. It's the same length as what version C is, only it has the ruffle on the bottom instead of being straight with the slit. I love it so much. It is an enjoyable thing to wear. It's very swishy, it's super comfortable. I feel like you can dress it up or down, and it's just a lovely addition to my collection, and I feel like it's something that can transition me into fall really nicely. So that was a good make, and it's really easy to make as well. The next thing that I made is another McCall's pattern. It is the M7598. I gave you guys a sneak peek of this, I believe, in my massive fabric haul video, but it is this jumpsuit here, and it is basically it's a swimsuit cover up, but I've just been wearing it as a jumpsuit. Let me tell you why mine is slightly different from hers. I did use the contrasting band around the neck and back for the necktie. I love it so much. It's actually a really great, where did I get it? I got it on Etsy. It's a really great thick trim, and it's pretty and it's appropriate. It has the color that I need. It has some yellow in it. It has kind of Aztec-y colors, so I just really like it a lot. But I made it, and I have it pulled up really tight. It's supposed to be worn looser than that, but the reason why is because underneath I'm not wearing a bandeau bra like she is here in this picture, and I'm not wearing a swimsuit. I'm wearing a regular old bra, okay? And so I didn't want anyone to be able to see that or cleavage, so I've tied it really tight. But if I was going to wear it as a swimsuit cover up, I would loosen it so that it was, you know, more comfortable and loose, and you could see what's underneath, and it would look more like this. But this was a really fun sew, a really easy sew. The hardest part was adding the little trim, but even that wasn't that hard. The instructions were very clear. There's lots of versions of different things you can do on this particular pattern, so I feel like it's a great value. You can have the maxi dress that it has the top with a contrasting band, or you can have this long dress here, and in the middle it has that same trim, so detail, and then you can make a short little dress. So for next summer, if you're interested, this is a good one. Again, this is McCall M7598, and I used my very favorite color of all of my double gauze that I own. It is yellow. I have gotten my money's worth. You will see I have made lots of things out of that particular fabric. It's gorgeous. And I think I told you guys before in another video that just yellow just makes me happy when I wear it. So I actually made the Simplicity 8134, which you guys know is my favorite pant pattern. It's a super easy pattern, and actually says easy to sew right on the front. I've made shorts, I've made several pairs of pants out of different types of material, but for this particular time I made that bubble gauze in yellow as well. I think is it mimosa? I think the other color is mimosa, but it's like a blood orange color. I also made green. The green ones were my first pair that I made, and I just really love these so much. They're so comfortable, so swishy. I like things like that because they're comfortable, but they're still stylish, you know? And using the bubble gauze is so breathable, so it's perfect for summer. And I actually plan to wear it through as long as I can through fall, maybe during the days, and then switch it up in the evenings. But they're a really nice pair of pants, and as you can see, they're very colorful and nice. And so for the yellow pants, I actually paired it with a self-drafted shirt that I made. And this self-drafted shirt, I actually took, I shouldn't say self-drafted, I should say hat. I took the 100 Acts of Sewing, I think that's what it's called, by Sonia Phillip. And the shirt number 1, I made this shirt for the top bodice, and I shortened it, and then I made a peplum to go around the bottom, and I used elastic thread. That seems to be my favorite thing to use this month to put around the peplum to attach to the top. And so this is how I've created that shirt. I love the way it came out. It was so comfortable, so colorful, so cute, and I paired that with the yellow pants. Now I also hacked the indigo dress. I took the bodice of the indigo dress and I added a little tiny ruffle around the bottom of that to create another shirt to go with my green pair of pants. So I like to do that, and if you sew also and you've tried this before, you can totally identify with this, but I always, when I look at patterns and when I'm purchasing them, I always look at ways that I can get more use out of them and how I can hack them. And those two patterns hacked really well, I would say. And I'm going to continue to do that and play with different things, especially when I don't have a lot of fabric left. Like for instance, when I made all of those things out of my yellow bubble gauze, I only had a little bit of fabric left and it was just enough to squeeze out another shirt. So anyway, have fun with your sewing, play around with it, and hopefully you like those two hacks that I made. Next, I made a McCall M7294, and this is actually a cardigan, and it is a cardigan that's made out of sweatshirt material. I really love the way this cardigan came out. It is purple and has butterflies all over it, and it's just so cozy and comfortable. This is a doodle fabric that is that double knit from Joann's, and it's just perfect. It's cozy, and I know it doesn't match what I'm wearing in the photo, but I just like wearing it around the house. And so if you're looking for an easy to sew, really nice cardigan that's made out of sweatshirt material, this is a good one. I plan on making more and I love it. All right, so next I'm going to go into my children's clothing. So if you're not interested in children's clothing, I just want to let you know I'm done with my personal sewing. Please don't leave this channel without first subscribing and giving me a thumbs up. I truly appreciate you so much. But if you're still interested in the things that I made, please keep watching. I'm going to go into all the things that I made for my kids this month. I'll be honest, a couple of things I actually made in July and just didn't get to share with you, so I'll let you know what those things were. The first thing that I made is this basic t-shirt. It's a kid's t-shirt that I found on Etsy. I will put the name of the company that makes this pattern. Super basic. It was like a $2 pattern or something crazy like that. Really easy to follow. I think it only had like, I don't know, like 6 instructions on it. And if you've made a t-shirt before, this will be really easy for you to make. The sizes seem to be pretty good. I think I shared these pictures already, but I'm going to show you again. And then I think this could also be a good adult women's t-shirt as well, because I made the size 10 for my older child and it was way too big, but it fit me. So keep that in mind, that you could probably get a lot of use out of this pattern and use it for yourself and your kids. So this was the one pattern that I used and liked. And next I made my kids these Double Trouble joggers made by Jet's mom. These joggers are so cute. I made them out of this really great doodle fabric from Joann's, and it is like a light blue and it has hands all over it and it says high five. And so for my younger kid, now when I made these particular pants, I was actually in quarantine and I didn't realize that my youngest child had a growth spurt. A crazy growth spurt. So the measurements I had taken of him back in May were no longer appropriate, and so I made them for him, and he floods a little bit. So I'm going to be making him another pair that fit to the ankles a lot better. He still wears them and they're very comfortable. He likes them a lot, but I do have to size up for him. Now, I do plan on making more of these. However, I will be honest with you, I evaluated the amount of things that my children had. I went through all of their drawers and closets, pulled everything out, refolded, rehung things, and I realized that my kids are spoiled. They have so much, and so their drawers, after I folded up everything that they could fit and put it away neatly, I found that not everything fit. And so they right now probably have enough clothes to last them for a little while, but when they go through their next growth spurt, I will definitely revisit this pattern because it's an enjoyable sew and they came out so nice. So this is a good one if you are looking to make your child some joggers. Even though this is technically, I think, a boy pattern, you could use it for girls as well. And there's really great options for color blocking and all kinds of stuff. So this is a good pattern. You should check it out. In the picture, you'll see that I paired it with a sweatshirt. Now, the sweatshirt is made by that same company that I found on Etsy, which I will be linking the name of in the information section below. And this pattern again is great for both kids and adults. I made myself a sweatshirt to match them. It fits perfectly. Somehow I didn't manage to photograph it. I'm just now realizing. So it's not going to be included in this video, but I'm sure at some point you'll catch me wearing it in one of my videos because it's lightweight, it's cozy, it's soft, and it's just really nice. So I will link the pattern for that sweatshirt as well. During the editing of this video, I realized I forgot to show you my kids' hot chocolate sweatshirts that are made by Jack's Mom Patterns. They're so cute and cozy. They have camping themes on them, and they have really great deep pockets and a hood. I made my older son an oversized one so he can grow into it. I also changed his hood. He has that jersey material from Fine Fabrics instead of the regular doodle fabric that I used for the rest of the sweatshirt. He likes this better. I also made these long sleeve raglan t-shirts. They outgrew them quickly, and for some reason when I washed this material the second time it actually shrunk a little bit, so I'll be making these again, and these are by that same Etsy company that I purchased the other t-shirts from. Now, the last shirt that I made them is actually a Dreamer shirt from Made by Jack's Mom. I think this is my favorite shirt that I've ever made them, and I've made them a ton of shirts, you guys. And I like this pattern so much because of all of the creative details. Like for one, at the very top of the shirt, there's a hidden pocket there. So they can slip things in there. I mean, I'll definitely have to be careful when I'm washing their things because they'll have more pockets to hide stuff like tissue and rocks and pennies and stuff like that. But I just think it's such a cute little sweet detail that they've added. And then they have the two side pockets on either side of the shirt. But it's a really great pattern, really easy to sew. And I think the kids look really cute in it. I found this fabric. It is actually a duck fabric, which I've never used before. It is definitely like a blend between a canvas and a denim. So it's a little heavier of a shirt, which I like because they can wear it into the fall and winter. And the boys have been wearing it with a little light undershirt underneath right now. But it's definitely a heavy enough fabric to where they really don't need that undershirt. And it's just such a cute fabric. And as you can see, I've paired it with a mask. I definitely have made them tons of masks to match their shirts and stuff. But the mask itself is very structured and it stays on the face very nice. So yeah, I really like this make. Lastly, I made the boys dungarees, and I did share this already in a previous video, but I made the Made by Jack's Mom I Dig dungarees, and I made them out of this really beautiful bright blue. I plan on making my own to match them, but I'll probably use the Made by Jack's Mom Heyday dungarees versus using my Mila dungarees from Chilling the Buttons, only because I want a little bit more of a loose fit, but I will add the buckles on them because I do want to match them, so I'll have similar or same buckles. But yeah, so that's everything that I made for the month of August. If you stuck through this whole video, thank you so much. I totally appreciate you. Anyway, if you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see in the future, please do add that in the comment section below. If you have suggestions for different face masks that people should try, if there's videos out there that you've seen that you think are really great and easy to follow, please do share that information. I definitely want everyone to be safe out there, so please share that information. Also, if you have questions about any of the makes that I've made or have suggestions for patterns that I should try in the future, please share that with me as well. All of your support has been so appreciated and has really pushed me to continue to make these videos. So thank you so much. I truly feel blessed to have you as a part of my little community, and I just wish you well, and I hope that things are going as well for you as they are for me with regards to sewing and all things life, family, and love. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Bye.